Hi, I'm Jim from the Game Jar, and we're here with Tim from Ubisoft. Hi, Tim.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm very well. We're at the Eurogamer Expo, but they're actually showing the single player at the moment. But let's talk a bit about multiplayer, if that's all right. So, in the other games, we had various characters. What kind of characters have you got in this one?
Okay, so Assassin's Creed 3, totally new setting, so it means that we've been able to do lots of new interesting characters. Obviously it's set in America around the time of the Revolution, so lots of different nationalities. So we've got all sorts now. We've got various different female characters, like the Lady Maverick, who's kind of a Lady of the Night kind of thing. We've got the Redcoat, who's also this female who's dressed as a red soldier. There's all sorts of backstory to it. And then we've got characters like the Carpenter, who goes around with a massive hammer and likes to cave people's heads in.
Okay, so they all have like different abilities, different skills, that sort of thing. What one would you say is your favourite?
Abilities? I don't know. One of the new abilities is probably Disruption. It's one of the new ranged abilities, and that's pretty cool. You use it against people, it screws up their screen, turns off the HUD, and kind of reveals them as an enemy as well. So I like using that.
So we've got all different kinds of modes as well.
Yeah.
Are there any different ones from previous games?
Absolutely, yeah. There's two brand new modes. The first one is called Domination. It's an 8-player, quite fast-paced mode where you have to capture different territories. Although the interesting twist on this one is that you have, if you go to capture it, you've got to be quite stealthy to begin with, because when you're going to capture a zone, you can only stun in that zone rather than kill. And the guy you stun can get up quicker than you can capture it. And until you capture it, you can't kill them. So it's a bit of a different twist. And then we've got Wolfpack, which is a totally brand new mode for AC3. It's the first ever co-op multiplayer game mode we've done. 1 to 4 players can play cooperatively against 12 different enemy AI archetypes. And we're really loving this mode. It's being very well received by all the people who are playing it.
Wow. Okay. So you've got all the HUD system all around. Is there anything that you've improved, changed, made better, or added just because you've got these new modes?
Yeah, so, some of the things we've done, there's now 3 abilities instead of 2. There's the 2 normal abilities, and now we've allowed the player to choose a ranged ability as well on top of that. There's lots of other improvements, quite boring technical stuff like matchmaking we've improved. We've got a new social system. We've got a new ladder system. And there's a whole brand new story that goes with the multiplayer this time for people who are interested in story, which is also very cool.
So when you're playing, who do you pick to play as, and like how do you play? Okay,
so my favourite character would be, he's called the Strongman. He's like this Inuit character, and one of the reasons that I like him is one of the unlockable costumes. He wears this, I'm not going to spoil it actually, but it's very, very cool. I fell in love with it when I saw it. And the way I play, I don't know, it depends on the mode. So in Domination, I like to play defense more than attack. So I hang around in a zone we've captured, and I blend in with the NPCs, looking for anyone that I think is trying to capture the zone, and I try and take them out, rather than playing the aggressor where other teammates do that. And like in Wolfpack, often I try and play as kind of more the leader. So the key thing with Wolfpack is all about, it's a cooperative mode, and we've really focused on the cooperative elements. So you really have to work as a team. And so I like to try and, count down when we do sync kills and stuff like that. So
NPCs, how have they improved, or how do they move differently now? Can you like blend in with them? You can blend in with them before, but is there different ways to interact with them?
So we've got some new things now where we've got contextual kills in the world, which is kind of interacting with the NPCs as well. We've got some, as I say, in Wolfpack, we've got 12 new AI enemies, which was something totally new for this game. And they go from very easy, who will just run away from you when they detect you, to ones that will actually try and use abilities against you. They'll stun you. They'll actively, actually go after you and things like that. So, we've done a lot of improvements on the NPCs and the AI.
Okay, so obviously Connor's got a different fighting style to Ezio.
Yeah.
How has the fighting changed in multiplayer, if it's changed at all?
So we have a different type of fighting system in multiplayer. It's more of the one button to interact. So you always press on Xbox X or circle on, square on PS3. And if you're the pursuer, when you attack, you'll kill. And when you're the target, when you press X or square, you will only stun. And so we use this contract system throughout all the different game modes in different ways, not just in team-based modes, but also in the free-for-all modes as well.
Okay, so for someone who has never played the multiplayer before, can you give us like a brief outline of how you would go about your first ever match? Some tips and things like that.
Okay, so I'd recommend your first match probably playing something like there's a mode that we have deliberately to introduce people, which is called Simple Deathmatch, where you have no abilities, so you don't have to worry about learning about how the abilities work. And what it also means is all the players don't have what we call lookalikes, so it's less about stealth and it's more about just learning the controls. Of course, Wolfpack, like I said, the new co-op mode, that's also another great way of learning things about abilities, where you're not competing against other players, you're only competing against the NPCs. So there we go.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, thank you for your time. It's been really great talking to you.
And you.
Thank you.